Hello folks, this is KARL-JAMES LANGFORD. It's the 25th of July. It's 2014 and it's Friday. I've been doing these vlogs for some time now. When I say some time, I've been doing it for about 2 months, and usually I try to be really comical, talk about various things affecting me and so on. But one thing that is really affecting me at the moment, and one thing that I'm seeing, is the war, the disparity of news, and what's going on out there in the real world. We're told in our own economy in Great Britain that everything's improved, prosperity is rising, and everything's fine. Now when I look around my own streets, I sometimes see that. But when you look under the surface, there's something not quite right, and you see that with the media today. For example, beginning of the year you would have said that there's a war going on in Syria. Lots of stuff in the news. And then we have conflict again in Iraq. And then we have all this stuff going on in the Ukraine. None of this in particular any order. And then we have the story about Gaza and the Israelis. And you watch all this, and the theme is that one week there's one problem and it goes away. And next week you have another problem, it goes away, and we don't hear about it again. We saw about those girls disappearing in Nigeria. What's happened to them? And I've suddenly realised, I knew this, but I suddenly realised this even more recently. Last Friday we saw the deaths of 298 people in a flight that was flying over Ukraine. Whether there's rights, wrongs, who did it, whatever, that bothers me, but it doesn't bother me as much as what I'm going to say now. It was only yesterday really that the Red Cross, after nearly a week, finally got to the site to protect the bodies of those involved at the crash site in the Ukraine, a flight MH17, Malaysian jet. Now the flight came down last Friday, and people have been moving the bodies around, reports of rings being looted from people, baggage, we saw that on the camera, people's private baggages being emptied, and people's personal possessions spread across, being caught on the camera, children's toys, personal possessions, human limbs. And everybody in the West, our Western world, these are the governments that represent us. In Britain, we've said, oh, it's wrong. What's happened's wrong, naturally. But in Britain we've done nothing. We've sent no real help out there to recover the bodies. No, nothing. That's our government, the British government. And then the Dutch. The Dutch have said this is wrong and whatever, and they're treating the bodies. But the Dutch have not sent soldiers out there to protect the bodies or do anything physically on the ground. They've moaned and groaned. Well, people watching all this on the news have suffered even more, seeing their loved ones' possessions and their own loved ones dead, lying in a foreign field a week after the crash. And then the Australians are only saying now that they're going to send police over there. It's too late. This is a week on. And the Americans have blamed the Russians for shooting down this jet. I don't care about that. I care about the human impact on those people that are suffering, and we see it. But today, for the first time, Friday the 25th of July, nothing on the news about that jet. It's gone. It's disappeared. And I don't understand. I really don't get it. It's all politics. Human lives don't seem to matter anymore. And then they want to destroy the Russians' economy, and they're blaming the Russians for supporting the separatists, for shooting down the plane. I don't care. I don't really give a damn about that. So politics. We're not going to know. We'll never know the truth. The truth is that those bodies are lying there still. There are 80, 100 people unaccounted for. And you're looking at me saying, Karl, you're wrong, you're talking nonsense. I tell you one thing, this is Europe and America not doing anything. Even the Russians doing nothing. Everybody in Europe is to blame. And do you know what? Algerian flight goes down, was it yesterday? And it's a flight with 160 people on it. Over Mali in Africa. It goes down yesterday. It's the Air Algeria flight. 160 people killed. And one thing I saw straight away was that they sent helicopters out. They sent people out to find out the situation. They've even found the black box after one day. And this is Africa. Those people in Africa who apparently can't organise an Olympic Games. Or can't organise a Commonwealth Games. Can't organise a football tournament. And you know what? Those Africans, they're the first to recover the bodies. The first to recover the black box. They're the first to do everything in Africa after one day. And we as rich Europeans in the West do nothing. While our own peoples watch bodies being strewn over the field in Ukraine and doing nothing. Because our governments don't do anything. We're some of the richest nations in the world. And we squabble and we argue. It's politics. Africa, they deal with it within hours. There's news reports. They've got people, rescue groups out there. The people of Africa are sending rescue teams out straight away. And in the West, we just let it happen. The Red Cross go out there, more or less just after a week. They force themselves out there. They go across the borders. But I tell you what, our governments do nothing. Hats off to the Red Cross, but we do nothing in the West. And the Africans, with their own flight that goes down yesterday, they do something. And I tell you what, respect for Africa. All the best respect for those Africans. Those people that we've painted as being ignorant. They are far more better than us in the West. So well done, Africa. I'm proud of you. Put my hats off to you. And then the final thing as well is, did you know, not really reported on the news, another plane flight went down over Taiwan on Wednesday. Right? Within hours, they're sending people out to recover the bodies. And do you know what? They've recovered 10 people alive and take them straight to hospital. Right? That's after a few hours. Ukraine, if there was anyone left alive after that plane crash in Ukraine, they would have died waiting for help. Mali, the flight that goes down, they send out people straight away. Everyone's killed. But Taiwan, there was still 10 people out of there was 48 killed in that flight, but 10 were alive. And I tell you what, hats off to the Taiwanese as well. So, moral of the story is, Africans with very little money, the Taiwanese with very little money, they treat their dead with much more respect than we ever treat our dead. In the West, our news reporting is naff. Our governments let us down, and our governments don't care about our own people. And those people watching this now, I hope you will respect me for what I've said. Rubbish this, but understand that we in the West, with all this technology, means nothing. In Africa, with the resources that they've got, they put it to good use. Taiwan, good use. So, I found this hard this evening, so this is my vlog. I'm going to call it a day. Hopefully speak to you all tomorrow. And this is KARL-JAMES LANGFORD reporting on a very serious theme of those plane crashes this last week. And it's the 25th of July 2014. Thank you.